I got set these hip bangers. They got a fucking bag.
Shalom, Israel. This is Priest and Officer Quahal. And for those of you who don't know, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana. We have been called to teach the so-called Blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans that we are the children of Israel. For those of you who do know, there is a war going on outside that no man is safe from. And that is happening in Israel and the borders of Palestine. And we're going to break down some of these scriptures. We'll keep it light. We'll keep it the milk scriptures, and we'll get into the meat next week as things transpire. Right now, what we're going to do is give you time to go ahead and get your precept books, your pens, your papers, and, you know, a drink if you need, so we can start breaking this stuff down, because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the time is now. It is time to put up those selfish ways. And like they say in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Again, I'm going to give you some time to get some pens, some papers. I'm going to play some heat right now. We got some brothers that have always been talented in the UPK. I'm going to play their songs, a couple skits, and then we'll jump right into it. I'll be right back with you.
I think we got a problem. Got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. Stack club, baby. You hear that? We can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
We can't sit down to that.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Yohana. Bird, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Been out of these streets, nigga trying to eat while I duck police. Own family stealing from me. I'm mama told me to pray, but white Jesus can't save me. Get him away from me. I don't know what to say. So many niggas hating me. Get him away from me.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Tryna keep it on the true side, nigga. Laying low to play it cool, nah, nigga. Ass niggas on the team, I've been known to get the green ever since I was 2-5, nigga. Coop hanging out the roof, nah, nigga. Cause I ain't stunting on them. Put my whole team on so they ain't wantin'. When niggas doing bad, you know that they be hating on you. Get the hoping that you fall, they be waiting on it. Bullshit, get bread from the envy. Best friends get to looking like enemies. When you got it in this bank account empty. Perfect recipe to breed a lot of jealousy. Looking from a bird's eye view. Learn from everything I've been through. Told my baby girl, if you ain't spending life with the nigga, never let him put a dick up in you. Cause if a nigga wrong, I'ma check that shit. And when you paper long, never flex that shit. Told my son, when you getting money, never trick it to a bop and flip it over, then invest that shit. Give a lot of game, trying to bless my kid. Gotta keep it real, that's the best shit. Got hitters up in Philly, back in Texas. When I get up on the track, yeah, I wreck shit.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Pour a sip on my own. Don't need you all on my zone. Spend so much time alone while I ride around with my cone. Pour a sip on my own. Don't need you all on my zone. Spend so much time alone while I ride around with my cone.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand. Got this juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, this is salt. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drums, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. When Westworld, let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just
break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Skimmer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they open up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest, they gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high, now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half knots. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakathum to the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, El Alathum, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Again, my name is Officer Quahal with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I hope you guys had enough time to get your pens, your papers, whatever precept books for any of you that are, just tuning in and want to write some of this stuff down. So this is a Wednesday night law class. And if anybody has been tuning in, I know some of us live in, bubbles as far as, watching the news, the media, because there's so much trash out there. Some of you might not, get to see what's happening. But right now, what's happening across the globe is a war between Israel and Hamas. Hamas is near or in Palestine.
Right.
And Israel has occupied Palestine for quite some time. First, those so-called Egyptians had it. And then around the, I want to say 60s is when Israel took over that and has occupied the land that Hamas or Palestine has. Neither one of them have rights to the land, but at least Palestine had it first. They both need to get up out of there, but Palestine had it first. They're being occupied and a war broke out. For those of you who, aren't privy to the information or haven't watched it, there was an attack from Hamas. Hamas used to be a rebel or terrorist group that did their own thing. Now, Palestine has made them their political leaders. There was an attack and people were kidnapped from Israel, this, that, and the fourth. There are wars and rumors of wars going on right now. For those of you who know the scriptures, that is a prophecy that's coming to pass. If I could get Romans 13 and 11, Baba Kashai, because right now we're starting to see the sign of the times, and we see a lot of different, signs out there. You can tell through a sign, what's going on with somebody. Like for instance, like a small thing. If somebody is crying, you can assume by their mannerisms and those tears that they're sad. You can tell the difference between happy tears, sad tears, whatever you want to call it. But that's a sign of their disposition. You can tell if somebody is, decent at something based off of how they're performing. And whatever aspect of life or whatever's going on, you see the signs of it. You see if somebody is successful as a businessman, those signs that you might see, whether real or not, are going to be, a car, house, successful business, money, this, that, and the fourth. But we need to look at the signs of the times, because right now, I know it's been said time and time again, we're in the last days. So if I could get Romans 13 and 11.
Con. This is Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Black people, Hispanic people, Native Americans, we've been asleep. We don't even know what's going on around us right now. There are all these things happening around us. We're being used in many different types of ways. Right now, if you look it up, you have a situation that I just heard the brothers break down on Black Watch about how Kenyans and Africans are going to, take over and rule over matters in Haiti. That's not a good thing for a whole nother nation to go ahead and rule over another nation. Nations should be governed by themselves, especially us. We should be governed by ourselves. But we're so asleep, we don't even know what that means. We're so asleep, we attack each other on the internet. We're so asleep, we put so much into money, cars, electronics, shoes, whatever have you, status, clout, as they like to call it. None of that matters. If war happens over here, like it's happening over in Israel and Hamas, with 2,000 to 7,000 rockets hitting Israel, the death toll rising over there with how many people, none of that matters. All of this stuff that has lulled us to sleep about being a feminist, all that stuff about being a drug dealer, not having a family, circle, not being grounded in the Lord, none of that is going to matter. We should wake up. Continue.
God. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
So now is our salvation nearer. The time has come for us to get on board with what the Lord wants from us, because when that sky cracks and when Christ comes back and you haven't fallen in line with the order, the Father, the Son, man, woman, and child, if you haven't been listening to the Lord's statutes and commandments, your salvation is going to be so far away, while everybody else who did what they were supposed to do, like, the priests and prophets of the UPK, we are going to have salvation, because it says our salvation is nearer. You're not saved. That's a clue right there into it. Right. Salvation is nearer. It does not say you are saved. Continue.
Verse 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Let us stop sinning. Let us stop doing every ill thing that God doesn't want us to do. Continue.
And let us put on the armor of light.
So right there, it says, put on the armor of light. Let's go to, Let's go to Proverbs 6 and 23 to see what that light is talking about. Because a lot of people, they might simply think that light means to just feel good, do good. But good by whose standards? The righteousness of man and the righteousness of God are two different things. So let's find out what that light actually means. Read.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp and the law is light.
So if we're putting that armor of light on, that is talking about the law. Continue.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
We need to reproof the steps that we have taken in the wrong direction. The scripture in Romans 13 and 1 says, therefore, cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. That light is the laws, statutes, and commandments. If we could move on to Matthew 24 and 6. We are talking about signs, the signs of the times. We're seeing earthquakes. We're seeing the death tolls rising in different places. We're seeing to where your school system is showing your children pornography and making it into some story like it was the Care Bears of my childhood time, where they're learning about things that they shouldn't be learning about.
Right.
The world is given into the hand of the wicked. And if you don't see this sign to where at least now you should know that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you don't have much time to find that out. Because right now there's earthquakes. In Morocco, there was an earthquake about a month ago within recent times where 3,000 people were killed.
Right.
You know about the big earthquake in Turkey. 107,000 people were injured. 50,000 people were killed. There's more earthquakes that were happening in Afghanistan. Let's read that verse and find out about these earthquakes in diverse places. Because we're talking about wars. We're talking about rumors of wars. We're talking about earthquakes in diverse places. And that's the beginning of a lot of death and sorrow that's going to cover this earth. Like I said, all of that stuff that we deemed so important is not going to be so important. Yeah, you can live your life. You can be fruitful, multiply. You can love one another. You can have fun. Enjoy these feast days that God wants us to enjoy, the ones that Christ was on earth and that he was keeping. But don't do what the oppressor wants you to do, because you can end up like our enemies are going to end up at the very end. Read.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Have you not heard about what I just talked about? Have you not heard that when we did our emergency system test, this was something that was done nationally. Russia did theirs as well. I talk to people within a group chat, and I bring up this group chat all the time because these are my people in the world that I've talked to, and they're asleep. They don't see the signs of the times, but you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man that can hear my voice and hear the other men above me, the priests and prophets of the UPK, you can know that we are telling you the truth. We are telling you that there are wars and rumors of wars. Continue.
See that you be not troubled.
But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't need to be troubled. I heard my brothers above me talking about how when everything is going crazy on this planet, when things start to get worse, they're going to sit back and have a drink and say, La Sha'ala.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what my rib is going to do. My son can't have no drink, but he can for damn sure have some sparkling cider, and he can say La Sha'ala. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be troubled when the same heathens that had a hand in our slavery are going to war against each other like the Bible prophesied about. I'm going to hold up my drink with my brothers and my family and say La Sha'ala. Continue.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
The end is near, but it's not yet. You still have time to do what you're supposed to do. You should get within these ranks, because when stuff does hit the fan, there's going to be thousands upon thousands and millions upon millions of brothers and sisters who are lost and need help. The more people that we have that we can trust and that can fall in the ranks and do what the Lord wants us to do and do his will, that's the better off our people will be. I hear brothers and sisters talk about how so much they are for their people, but yet you want to be like the heathen, whether they be a Hamite or an Edomite. You want to be like them. You will put on a kente cloth, you will wear an ankh around your neck, and you don't even know your heritage or what tribe you come from. There are so many different languages on the continent of Africa. There's so many different tribes.
Right.
Those tribes are at war with each other right now as we speak.
Exactly.
Even before the Palestinians and the Israelis had gotten to this skirmish or this beginning of a war, those tribes were doing unspeakable things to each other, genocide. That's not what you come from. That's not the cloth that you're cut from. That's not the stock of your ancestors, your forefathers, your foremothers. We are something different, and we have to take heed to these scriptures so we don't end up dropping the ball and end up just being something in the scripture that says we'll be destroyed. Continue.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Israel shall rise against Palestine. Read.
and kingdom against kingdom.
Russia shall rise against the United States. Read.
And there shall be famines and pestilences.
Right now, my brothers and sisters are starving in Haiti. They are searching for a new life, trying to get over to the United States. Our people in Venezuela, our people in Mexico are crossing that border. Why? Because different European oppressors have destabilized their economy.
Right.
Different European oppressors have destabilized and put in just puppet governments over them to where they don't really have anything to live for. They need to get out of the state or the country that they're in and get over here. And a lot of you coons have an issue with people escaping hell and trying to get over to here where they think it's better.
Exactly.
And I don't understand that, because at one point in time when those Afghans came over here, they were given houses, jobs, businesses. You know what the Venezuelans are getting? A chance to work in about 30 days. Do you know why the American government would do something like that concerning the Venezuelans? Because there's oil over in Venezuela. They're going to win either way. They're saying that there's enough jobs for the Venezuelans to take care of. So they'll bring the Venezuelans over and go over there and get that oil. Them Afghans had a way better deal. But the Haitians, the Mexicans, the Venezuelans, and any other Black, Hispanic, or Native American refugee is getting a raw deal. Continue.
And earthquakes in diverse places.
Like I said, that earthquake in Turkey killed 50,000 people. You don't know 50,000 people. I come from a small town that if I went to the town over and to the town after that, that would encompass about 50,000 people. That means 3 cities from where I'm from, which is not very big, but if you think of the grand scheme of things, 50,000 people were wiped off of this earth with an earthquake. Afghanistan in the last 8 hours just had their second earthquake, killing 1,000 people. Before that, it was 2,000. These prophecies are coming to pass, and we got to wake up. We're not pointing the finger and saying, you black man this, you black man that, like the media does.
Right.
Like the UPK doesn't come here and teach us to tear our brothers and sisters down. We're taught to love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're taught to tell you what you're doing is wrong and then tell you the right way. But that was commanded to us from our Lord. And Commanding General Yohana has kept that tradition and that law in the UPK. We are supposed to go out and tell you the truth. I was joking with my father just yesterday and telling him the reason why I don't go to church. Because the last time I was there, I just hear a whole bunch of prophet preaching. Right. I hear silly anecdotes.
That's it.
About just messing up the scriptures and talking about a fruit tree not bearing its fruit.
Right.
How would you feel if they didn't have chicken at KFC? What the hell are you talking about?
No, they said that.
Yeah, there are earthquakes happening in diverse places. There are wars and rumors of wars. People are starving. What would make you cross a border and go to a place that you've never been, across water, across the cartel's territory where men, women, and children are being trafficked, and then risk your children under barbed wire? It has to be just utter hell. And you want to be in a church preaching about chicken and doing well on your job and how the battle ain't over because you can get new rims and car tires. And shut the hell up and get out the way, because you're stopping the children of Israel from earning their salvation, from being closer to the Lord, from our Father hearing our prayers. You're getting in the way of that. You're helping the oppressor have a longer time on earth. With these earthquakes and these wars and everything happening in diverse places, we should be able to see the signs of the time, but some of us don't. Let me get Matthew 16:1, Baba Kashab. Because when I was a child, I had no idea about these scriptures.
Right.
I had no idea what was going on. I was under the impression before anything crazy was going to happen on earth, not only would America be standing forever, as a child, I also thought that we would be whisked up away and disappear, and our clothes would be the only things left on earth. That's not how it's going to happen. Before the end, this country here is going to be attacked. Before the end is near, There's going to be unspeakable atrocities, and we don't have to take part in those plagues. We're going to get to that later, but we can go ahead and read that verse.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven.
You want to see a sign from heaven instead of seeing the signs that are right before you. You want to see something glowing in the sky. You want this. You want to see a preacher fly through a hole in the ceiling. You want to see a preacher talk about how he can make somebody's leg grow. You want to see your boss give you a raise when you go to work because you gave some pastor with a jet extra offering. That's what you want to see. You want to see a sign. Read.
Verse 2. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather.
Can't you see when you look into the sky and it's evening and you can tell that. You can tell it's good weather then. You see all these other signs and you know what's up. Continue.
For the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today. For the sky is red and lowering.
You know when it's going to be bad weather. You can damn near be a meteorologist yourself. My son can tell when it's going to rain by the clouds, when he looks into the sky and it looks dark and heavy. You can almost smell the moisture in the air. Those are the signs that you can see clearly with the physical things, but the spiritual things you have a problem seeing. The prophecies that are written out for us and for our learning in plain old English. You can't tell what's going on around you. Continue.
O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
You can't discern the signs of the times. This pastor is still preaching the same thing he's been preaching since the slave days.
Yeah.
This pastor has been preaching the same thing and sticking to the same scriptures since there was something called a slave Bible. But you don't know the sign of the times? You don't see that the earth is wicked and is just being utterly destroyed right now? You don't see that when you're breaking the law, it helps destroy the earth? We were talking about a couple of weeks ago how there were so many, clams or oysters that were taken out that the water was poisoned.
Right.
They had to dedicate time and money into putting millions of oysters back in because you want to eat abominations.
Yeah.
There's no longer pigs and things of that nature to clean up the land. You want to hunt and destroy everything and follow after the oppressor as he does that. You don't understand the times, but you can look at the weather and understand that. Can I get that last part of that verse again?
Stuff for hypocrites.
Kind out of one kind.
O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
We should be able to discern, and we can move to Proverbs 6 and 6. We should be able to discern what is happening. The scriptures are laid out for us. If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native American, and you are a man, and you're a woman, you should be able to read this Bible and know that these scriptures are for you. They're for your learning. They are to help you get to your salvation. The Lord said that we are supposed to be a kingdom of priests, but I don't see that. When I look around, we are drug dealers. We are whores. We are just everything under the sun that is just unrighteous according to God. And they put it on TV and they glorify it, and we want to follow it because we want to be Sexy Red, because we want to be Kevin Gates.
Right.
I saw something on Black Watch that turned my stomach. This fool, Kevin Gates, who says he's a Muslim, who when somebody tried to tell him, I saw a clip of somebody trying to tell him about, his religion being false, he wouldn't listen.
Right.
But Kevin will listen to Islam. And he will bring a sister, a Black woman, on stage, and he'll spit in her mouth in front of thousands of people.
Ooh, crazy.
And I believe, I could be wrong, she might have even been pregnant. You have enough respect for Islam and Arabs, but your own people, you don't have respect for. And I can see that in him because he talked about not even wanting to be Black if he had a second chance and came back.
Word?
Yes.
Damn.
That man has a self-hatred like I've never seen manifested in a rapper like that before. I know a lot of these rappers talk about they want to kill Salaki, unalive each other, this, that, and the fourth. This man, he spells it out perfect. Will literally defile a sister on stage, spit in her mouth while she's pregnant, and then talk about how he don't like being a Negro ain't good, and he don't want to be that, and how we tear each other down. You helping tear us down. You helping make a spectacle of us on these stages. And you want to be in Islam. Go over to Palestine and go help them. They're hang gliding over walls. They're coming up out the sand. They're doing all types of stuff for what they believe in. You doing something else. What you doing is for money. You hate yourself, so you want to attach yourself to a completely different nation. But you hate yourself and you love money. You are a clout chaser. Let's get to that verse.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
So we're talking right now about the sign of the times and how the law ties into that. It says discern the sign of the times. And once you discern that, you should be able to know, look, I got to prepare for that. There's a difference between the ant and the grasshopper. The grasshopper lives its life different. But that ant, it is going to prepare for winter. It is going to prepare to be under that ground when it can't come up no more. For its leader, for its queen, for its people. But as humans who have a vast knowledge and understanding of many different subjects, we don't even understand this. Continue.
Verse 7, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer.
They go in the summer and they collect. Ants will even run up in your house.
Facts.
Ants will run up on your barbecue preparing for summer, preparing for winter, preparing for fall. You can find ants, a line of them everywhere. You'll have a hell of a time once they get in your house and they find some form of sugar or some form of food in your house. They're preparing. You don't even take into consideration, or Salakia, we don't even take into consideration that this animal who has no understanding, no ruler, they at least know this. Continue.
And gather her food in the Salakia. And gathereth her food in the harvest.
The water. We can drop that. We can move to Revelations 18 and 3. And in order to be safe, in order to be away from what's coming to this nation and other nations around us that the Lord has indignation against, we need to do what God wants us to do, which is to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we need to separate ourselves. To be holy means to be separate. We can go ahead and read Revelations 18 and 3.
Revelations chapter 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
So this is talking about, you can call it Mystery Babylon. You can call the United States. This is talking about the United States, but there's different names for it in the Bible. Mystery Babylon, the Great Whore. You can call it. It also gives. It likens America to Sodom and Egypt for various reasons. Number one, we already talked about how the children are being taught all these disgusting things with the community, as well as that this is the place that locks up the most people in the world. Continue.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich.
So, Salakia. So when you read farther into the scriptures, you'll see scriptures that say, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Other countries have seen how America has prospered, and that became a righteousness that other countries wanted to follow. The Taliban, as crazy as they are and wicked as they are, there was a time where they were no longer able to rule their land. And I believe Afghanistan is where the Taliban is, right? If I'm not mistaken. So they weren't able to rule their land. Their women wanted to be like American women. They took off their hijabs.
Oh, for real?
They were doing all types of stuff because they've drunk of that wine. They want to be like America. They want to be free. They want to be, I mentioned it earlier. What was it called when a woman wants to be, she kind of wants to be a man. It slips my head right now. She wants to be a feminist. She like when a woman wants to be a feminist, you're throwing your natural state out the window.
Right.
There's other countries who have men that don't tolerate that.
Exactly.
So when those terrorists got back and restored power, them hijabs went right back on. Those women were running to go get those hijabs back on. Men that were linked up with the United States and selling people out were executed.
I remember.
Or were fleeing the country because in their mind, America was right, but you were just drunk off the wine. That's all it was of that fornication that this country is founded on. Continue.
For all the nations,
no sweat.
Through the abundance of her delicacies.
Continue.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
The Lord is sending a message to us and is saying, come out of her, which means it's not like leave the United States, because the United States is everywhere, or there's just going to be another European oppressor or another other type of heathen that's going to oppress you. But it's saying spiritually, come out of her. Don't have the mark of the beast. Don't do the will of this evil, wicked place. Don't do the will of Satan. Don't do the will of the devil. Don't do the works is what it's saying. Continue.
That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
There are plagues that are coming here. If you can separate yourself from what has been happening spiritually, you can be good. You can be okay. That's why it says, be not troubled in these last days. But there's certain things you have to do. We need to be delivered from death because we have had faith in a place that cannot save us.
Right.
Thinking this place can save you is ridiculous in the fact of, imagine the person that kidnapped you, unalived your family, kept you over here, and destabilized everything around you and made you poor. You're going to go and ask them for help now? They're just going to utilize what they can get from you again.
Exactly.
Every politician uses black people and disrespects us. What did Joe Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Hillary Clinton pandering to us, talking about she keeps hot sauce in her purse. No, she doesn't. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I'm black. You voted for Joe Biden because you're a slave.
Right.
That's the difference. That man is damn near senile. What is Joe Biden, like 80 years old? Every time I see a clip of him on the internet, he's looking like he's a bumbling idiot. And most of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who voted for him, they want to switch over to Trump. It's like you jump back and forth from sinking ship to sinking ship. Oh, this one is rising. I'm gonna jump to this one. But at the end of the day, this nation can't save you. You should come out of her. Salakia. We're going to move on to the next thing, and I'm not going to hold us too long. But let's get Judges 5 and 11, because there are going to be things that are going to happen. There's going to be thermonuclear warfare. The Bible prophesies about terrorist attacks that are going to happen. There's a lot of things that are going to happen here, and we don't have to partake in his death. We don't have to drink the wine of fornication anymore, and we don't have to be like the heathen. Read.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
The noise of the archers is going to be those rockets going off. The rockets that hit the Iron Dome and went through and was able to hit buildings. The rockets that left and was able to hit Palestine, killing a lot of different people that aren't even involved in the war. They're just innocent bystanders. That can and will happen here. America has made itself weak by letting a whole bunch of our enemies come in here and trying to make a certain amount of peace with them, but take advantage of them at the same time. America has let terrorists in here. It's going to happen. Continue.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
Us Israelites need to be safe from what's going on by rehearsing the righteous acts. We can go to Deuteronomy 6:25 so we can understand what that is, because it's coming back to the law. I know brothers and sisters in the world, they don't want to hear about law. They would like to be a lawless people. Maybe you would like to be like Kevin Gates, spitting in some pregnant woman's mouth on stage. Maybe you would like to be on camera like Sexy Red, having a tape of your naked body out. But that is not going to be anything that the Lord wants around in the kingdom of heaven. It's quite the opposite. That's going to be destroyed and purged out of the earth, along with the heathen. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us.
So Deuteronomy 6 and 25 is a precept to what the righteous acts of the Lord are. Again, it says, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us. We can't sit here and pretend any longer with what's going on that we should be saved by the Lord. Because in the end, and I'm paraphrasing, the scriptures say, I did miracles in your name. And the Lord is going to say, I never knew you, because you didn't do the will of the Father. When that sky cracks and there are 200 million angels, there is going to be hell to pay for every nation that had blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in complete and utter slavery, discourse, and has taken advantage of us. I'm going to read that again from the top one more time. And it shall be our righteousness to observe and to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us. So that righteousness is not our righteousness. It is the Lord's righteousness. We have to keep what Christ told us to do. We have to keep what Moses brought from the Lord to us, because in these last days, there's going to be just utter destruction. We go to our jobs every day. We go to parties, this, that, and the fourth. Until the end of time, it's saying there's going to be parties, marriages, and people are just going to continue in their ways. But you don't have to be blind. The scriptures say, like we read earlier, it's high time we wake up. The scriptures say we need to stop doing what we're doing and concerning what America does, and we need to separate ourselves from what it's doing. We can move on to Psalms 1 and 19. Just one more precept about righteousness. Because a lot of these holy rollers in the church, they don't even have a shadow of what Christ wants us to do. But yet they'll say his name 1,000 times. They don't have any scriptures or precepts to help their people in these last days. They're going to continue to preach about the same things that they've preached. Martin Luther King said that he feels like we're in a burning building. At one of his last speeches, he was like, I feel like I led my people into the burning building. And I'm paraphrasing. What do you think he meant by that? What he meant was everything that's happening around us, as far as since the time after slavery ended, has made us super dependent on our oppressor who hates us. We got out of slavery and our oppressor destroyed everything around us as many times as he got and scattered us in the projects.
Exactly.
We were fleeing, just like the Mexicans, just like the Haitians and the Venezuelans. Black people were fleeing the South because there was a wicked oppressor doing all sorts of things, and a liberal oppressor made it seem like it would be a better life. But what is the liberal doing now? The liberal is giving our children, like I said, horrible literature about sexual things.
Right.
Trying to tell us that we should live a certain lifestyle, trying to tell us that we should transform ourselves into men when we're women or women when we're men. Let's read more on that righteousness.
Salakia, what verse in 119?
Oh, Salakia, 142. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get to that part in a second. Because there's somebody who said something that was crazy. Continue.
This is Psalms 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
The law is the truth. So when it talks about the truth shall set you free in the Bible, it's talking about the law.
Exactly.
It's talking about righteousness, which is doing the law, statutes, and commandments. What I want to touch on, one of the things I want to touch on before we, wrap anything up is the fact that this war has, coons showing their true colors.
Absolutely.
The brothers brought out how Amari Stoudemire was upset and said F you to any of Black Lives Matter or Black people who didn't have anything good to say or speak against what was happening. You had something to say?
No, I was about to ad lib. I'm like, damn, he said that?
Yeah. He literally said F you because Israelis are being kidnapped. I don't have a preference on who does what over there because those aren't my people. And I have to be concerned about mine because mine are in danger of losing everything. Mine are messed up. Go ahead.
I got a question. So does he believe that those are the real children of God?
He's into Judaism.
Oh, okay.
So he was upset and he said something to the effect of, it's not cool that children are being kidnapped.
Right.
It's not cool that children are being put in cages. It's not cool that they're being attacked. Mexicans were put in cages.
Right.
Our children are being kidnapped off the streets. It's an epidemic. I don't see Amari Stoudemire's goofy behind talking about that. Go ahead, Warrior.
Slocky. Yeah, when just to give context, like when he left the NBA, he played ball in Israel.
Got you.
And he believes he's an Israelite, but he has the idea that he's an Israelite like
a convert.
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's where he spent time after he left the NBA from the Knicks. He went and played ball in their league over there. So that's where he pulling his perspective from.
And that's heavy that you brought that out because brothers get so mixed up and enamored with other people's culture because they see themselves as so low. We were talking about Kevin Gates. I don't know if you heard that part.
I heard the whole everything.
Oh, you were tuned in?
Yeah.
Oh, Most High in Christ, because I was going to reiterate, but we too wild. But pretty much, brothers get so enamored with other cultures, whether it's anime, because we don't look at our culture as being anything deemed worthy. Like it'd be cool. Like you might think, oh, I can get some Johns with some Salakia, some sisters with this. I can have people's respect with what Black people deem as culture. But as far as having a foundation and respect, we look to everything else but our own. We think that the Moabite, the Asian is better than us. Right. We believe that the East Indian is better than us. That's why brothers have dreads. Right. That's why they have locks, because East Indians subscribe to, what is it, the god Shiva with the different arms?
Right, Shiva.
Yeah, and those locks were showing reverence to their god. We have Black people worshiping cabbages, rubbing Buddha's stomach, believing in not the signs of the times, but believing in the signs of astrology. What's your sign? Oh, I'm a Cancer. Oh, you're garbage. You got this type of attitude, this, that, and the fourth. Go ahead.
I was just thinking that I hate it when you meet a new girl and she asks me what my sign is. I just want to punch her. Like, why are you asking me that dumbass question?
He don't mean punch. He mean give her a hug. But Salaki, and that's crazy that you're saying that. And when somebody asks you that, you should ask them, what does it matter? And then describe yourself to them and say, you tell me what I am, because based on what I know and what I believe and what is true, what month you were born in does not determine how you act. Christ didn't celebrate his birthday. Job didn't celebrate his birthday, or any other Israelite that knew what was going on. They didn't celebrate their birthday or even care what month they were born in. They knew that the Lord's will was important. They knew that they could use the moon as a calendar. They knew that they could use the stars to navigate the seas. You fools think a Pisces and a Scorpion is something to behold and know how to rule your life by, and it's just pure vanity and falseness. Salakia, what scripture were we in? Oh, okay. So what I wanted to touch on is the fact that not only do blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, us as a people, do we want to look at other cultures and show reverence, but we also want to go ahead and be that one that's different. That's what Amari Stoudemire is trying. He's trying to be that one that's different. So the oppressor can go, oh, you're not like the rest of them. You're different. You're attacking your people on social media for something that's happening to the Israelis and the Palestinians that has been going on for years that we don't know nothing or care about as somebody in the world. But you don't realize that when you're that one and that oppressor looks at you like your people, he's just saying like, oh, you're different. Like almost like a dumb dog. Like people in general, like dogs are so stupid. Mm-hmm. They lick themselves. They roll around in their own feces. But there's some dogs that are smart. Don't you understand that when you're that one, you're just seen as the trained monkey or trained animal? That's it. You don't see that you're not that one that's a human. You're just a trained monkey that's different. You're just the smart parrot that can speak more words than the average bird. Right. But you're not equal. We were having a camp up in Wilmington. And one of the points I brought out there was the fact that not only do you want the oppressor's acceptance, but you want to be equal to them. But they don't want to be equal to you. Not at all. They don't want to have to come down to your level because they believe you're just an animal. Right. And they've showed you in so many ways. You've been put in public housing on purpose. They call it the projects because it's an experiment. It's like what they did to the rats when they made resources that were slim and the rats' social structure broke down and they began to attack each other and they fell into utter chaos. They treat you like an animal. So you can be one of the ones, but it's not going to benefit you or your people. Really, it's going to be to your destruction. Let's move on to Isaiah 42 and 22. Because while Amari Stoudemire is talking about everybody else's pain and everybody else being the Israelis, he's not talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' pain. He's not talking about how our children were put in cages. He's not talking about Flint, Michigan. Right. He should give every single dime he has to Flint, Michigan and shut the hell up. Exactly. Because his people are suffering. His people are in cages, but he's done nothing. There was a black man that did try to help with the water, and the UPK sends water. We send stuff and we do things to help our people. But there was a black man that was in the world and he created a machine to help his people and to create water out of the air. It almost looked like a large generator. And do you know somebody came and threw sand in it and made sure it didn't work? Do you know how evil you have to be to see these people suffering from what they're suffering from? Our people in Flint, Michigan, to suffer. We have a solution, just like in the times where we made Rosewood and Black Wall Street and you come and destroy it so we can't lift ourselves out of it. The Lord has a special place in hell for you. Exactly. And it's called slavery. You can go ahead and get that verse.
This is Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes.
We keep on falling into these traps that the oppressor sets for us. They put drugs in our neighborhoods, we sell them. They make incentive for us to talk about all these disgusting things and we become whores and whoremongers. They go ahead and make it an incentive for us to make money about talking about killing each other. But if we made those same verses about how we would spin the block on the oppressor, something would happen to us. They would restrict us from making music. If we talked about how we were going to put a switch on a Glock and tear the oppressor's head off, that's not getting played on the waves for long. The radio is not playing that. Social media is not letting that go down. They would say that is violating community guidelines, because at the end of the day, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, can't you see that there is a specific type of hatred that would allow you to disenfranchise a people like that and then keep your own in good graces? It's okay for us to talk about killing each other, us to be talking about how we're going to destroy each other, but not the other way around, talking about them. Continue.
And they are hid in prison houses.
We have so many people in jail that are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It doesn't even make any sense. So many. A lot of them are there when they didn't commit crimes that deserve the amount of time that they're getting.
Exactly.
Continue.
And they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
Amari Stoudemire, you spoke up for Israelis, but you didn't say restore us. You didn't speak up for us. You didn't come to help deliver us, because you're a coon. Right. Because you're the type of man that would see his own people's destruction and just simply ignore it. Because in reality, you don't love your people. You love another people. You're just a trained monkey. You're just a good dog. You're a well-to-do, wealthy slave. That's all you are. Let's read that last part again.
And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
I don't hear Kevin Gates talking about how his people should be restored. And as far as I know, he grew up in the slums. As far as I know, he came up in the trenches. You see what's going on with your people. You see that there were no fathers in the neighborhoods because they were all locked up or dead. But you didn't say restored. You chose Allah, except you didn't choose the God of the Bible.
Right.
Because you're a coon as well. Let's move to Matthew 7:22. Because at the end of the day, these wars, these rumors of wars, it's happening right now. And Black people, we should have a sign that lets us know what's going on. We should know that at the end of the day, all we have is each other, brotherhood and sisterhood. Christ laid out the blueprint for us. But this country here, things are happening right under their noses that they can't even begin to understand. The wisdom of this place is starting to leave. The wisdom of this place is different than it used to be.
Right.
I said I wasn't going to pull from the hip, but while you read this, I want to pull something. So if you could read that for me.
Understood. This is Matthew chapter 7. You said 22, Salakia.
Matthew 7:24. Or Salakia, hold on, let me get to it because I actually added another verse to it. Bear with me. Yeah, starting at verse 22.
Come. Matthew 7:22. Many will say to me that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?
I talked about this earlier. Many are going to say, have we not prophesied in their name? Continue.
And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works.
I got people that I love that are in a church right now that says that they have a demon detox.
What?
That talk about miracles upon miracles that can be performed.
Demon detox.
And none of it is true. Continue.
Then will I profess unto Slakia, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
Christ is going to say, I never knew you. You're going to say, but I was saying in the name of Jesus. When I prophesied over that lady's leg that was short and it grew 3 inches, I said in the mighty name of Jesus. Christ is going to look at you and say, I don't know who you are. What are you talking about? Who are you? Whose man's is this? Continue.
Ye that work iniquity.
You work in sin. You are of your father, the devil.
Right.
You're over there trying to help the synagogue of Satan, and you're not trying to help the saints that are over here suffering that don't know who they are. I understand you're lost, but Amari Stoudemire is just I can't call him anything else but a well-trained slave. Continue. Because
Uh-huh.
the words that I want to say, they don't meet community guidelines, or they go against community guidelines.
Verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man.
So you will be wise if you do all the things that Christ told you to do. If you remember the signs that he brought out when he talked about not building a house on sand and building it upon rocks, about doing different things and having love and loving your God with all your heart, and the second commandment being like it. Continue.
Which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not.
So when this country falls, you want to be like what Christ described here. You don't want to fall with this country. You want to have that rock under you. You want to have that solitude, or salakia. You want to have that solidness unto you that the ISUPK is talking about. Brotherhood. You want to have that foundation. But continue.
Khan. And beat upon that house, and it fell. Salakia.
No sweat. You just skip just a little bit, but it's Tawab.
And beat upon it, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell.
You don't want to be having your children taught that it's okay to do all these unspeakable things with the community and not correcting it. You don't want to be going against the children of God. You don't want to be putting money over everything. You don't want to be just doing every single thing that this country teaches you and putting your stock in it, because at the end of the day, when it falls, you're going to fall with it. Go ahead.
I just want to say that what you're bringing out is heavy, because if you look at the black household today, with the black family, the Hispanic family, and the First Nation man and woman family, like, it's falling apart.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we built our foundation on sand, and we don't follow these laws. So all our communities is just blown down each and every time. You know what I mean? Wall Street destroyed.
Damn right.
Even up until today. And that's a heavy point.
Absolutely. We could move on to Obadiah 1:7.
Yes. Classic.
Because this country has had a certain amount of wisdom, but that wisdom is leaving. That wisdom is not going to be in the earth helping this heathen for much longer, because they're making mistakes, and we can see that the mistakes that are being made are bad.
Right.
They're wondering why the CIA, the FBI, and whatever other alphabet boys weren't able to help know what was going to happen over in Palestine. Why didn't you know? You're the Central Intelligence Agency. You are supposed to know what's going to happen before it happens. How many times have they stopped something from happening that could have caused so much damage in different places that they deemed to be, worthy of protection? Not this time. That Iron Dome, it still let stuff through. They were still able to get through, things that have happened. This wisdom is leaving this heathen. It's leaving. Let's go ahead and read that verse.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. All the men of the confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Continue.
Shall I not in that day, save the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mountain of Esau, and thy mighty men?
So there are a whole bunch of think tanks that are dedicated to not only taking advantage of many of our oppressors' allies, but also to keep destroying black people. They have a certain amount of wisdom that they use against us. That's how they know that they can put drugs in our neighborhood and we'll sell it. They can put images on TV and it will work in our detriment. They can tell you that Christ is white, and they can make a picture of it and paint it, and that's a wise thing to do to help them out, and a wise thing to do against us, because the Bible says one thing, but they were wise enough to show us an image that would have in our minds something different, to where we think our God is white, to where we have a complex and look at them. But that wisdom is going to fall. That wisdom is going to be like the sand under that house that is going to be destroyed. And Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we should do everything in our power to gather ourselves together. We should do everything in our power to make sure that we are prepared and not like a sluggard and like an ant. And we should do Zephaniah 2:1. I got to keep bringing this out because there's so much stuff going on and we don't gather together. We're spread 1,000 different ways. And that's another thing that was wise of this devil to do, to help put a whole bunch of other doctrines out there to confuse us. That was done on purpose, to take our heritage away so we don't know who we are.
Right.
But that is going to come to an end. Any more on that?
I was just reading to verse 8. To verse 9. That's all. Slacky.
Let me see. Obadiah 1:7. Let me see. Verse 9. Verse 9 might have been where I wanted to go to.
Con. Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
This is a prophecy that is going to come to pass. And there's many precepts that go into this.
Absolutely.
When I have more time for our next class, I'm going to go ahead and break all of this down. But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to know that the law is literally the truth. And Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass off the class to Priest and Officer Kaash. Clap it up.
All right, give another round of applause for Officer Call. Well, I really appreciate the class. This is the ISCPK security announcements. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It means you give a tenth in Mashma. It means a tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel, we say Amazing, which means to stand. Amazing Shabbat, Amazing, Barak,
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
Guys, my time, hands down. Sorry, we're going to turn and face the sisters. Sisters, Amazing, Shabbat, Amazing, Barak, Salam, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai,